Hey folks, welcome back to a new episode here on my free-to-play. I want to say it's episode 6 or 7, already starting to lose track of which episode it is. But I do know we're still under 10, so there's that. Hope you're doing well. We are getting excited. I have too many mods that's going to stay there. It's going to make me angry. But yeah, we have too many mods. So, just got home. It's later than when I usually record. I tried to spend as much, if I ended up spending too much energy, but I spent over the energy, so when I came back it would still be recharging, so I could go ahead and take a shower and it would still be replenishing all the other stuff. So but anyway, let's get into it and let's see what today has for us. As usual, we're going to start with not that, but this, the people that we're close on, and that is First Order Storm and Sith Trooper. So hopefully we'll finish first. We only got First Order Storm. Are you being serious right now? And we only got 2? That's the type of stuff, friends, that will kill your momentum. And I think last night we got 0 on this first pull for Hux. Thankfully, we did not end up with that tonight. Didn't I thought I went through here. Yeah, we did. I ended up taking off Boba and Django and Droideka, and moving up Darsayan, because Darsayan at least has the ship that we need, or at least one of the ships we need, and that is Kylo Ren's command shuttle. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to do something crazy, right? Okay, get ready for it. We're going to farm this node, and it's super expensive. It's another 100 nodes, so I was going to plan on waiting, but I'm like, let's just see what happens, and we're headed in the right direction, because I'm going to have to start farm it sooner or later. But we put the what did I do? What was I doing? I put the whole, where'd I go? I don't know. I put this whole thing up here yesterday, so I can just come in here. I made it with you. I think I made it during the stream. It was like 35 minutes. Today's not going to be that long. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started on this. We have Kylo, of course, in Gear 13, and that's, look at this. Look at the drop rate. Holy smokes, guys. Finally got 2. Wow. And you're going to have that. But you have to, are you going to use championship points? What are you going to do? And of course, you could use currency, but it's like you have to balance that out. And I do want to tell you something. I don't know if I mentioned this on last night's stream on here, but I was watching Zara's video, and he mentioned you might want, if you're, it's not going to kill you to save up for the Galactic Chase that's coming, whenever it comes. And I've been doing, just the 2 refreshes in hopes that that's good enough. But I'm a little concerned that it's not good enough, and that maybe I need to just not spend for like. I don't want to just shut this down, because I know it's totally just gonna destroy the farm that we're working on. But I'm like, maybe I should. And I'm trying to figure out who I thought maybe that's in the other account, where I was thinking about who I wanted to farm from the Cantina nodes, and I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to look through my roster here and be like, oh, I want you from the cantina, because it would be like, I know I'm kind of working on the Poncho Bros a little bit, but if I'm being honest, I'm not exactly there. So I think where we're going is we're going Geobrood Alpha, because I need him done so when we get, because this guild isn't doing GOTB yet, but when it is, I want to be able to take advantage of that. And because I want to be able to take care of that. Also, I saw on, I don't remember what account it was on, but I saw that somebody in one of my guilds, I think it was on my daily account guild, that they unlocked Maw. And so I went and looked at this gentleman's account, and he's 6 million. But he had just unlocked Maw, and I'm like, what does this guy have? And what he had, it kind of hit me in the face. Because as I recall it, he only had 2 real teams. All right? He had both Revens, and I don't know if this guy's free to play or not, but it's something that we're headed towards sometime. And I'm trying to decide if it's right for us not to reconsider what we're doing. But he didn't have the CLS team. He had 3PO, like Relic 3, and he had the CLS team unlocked. But he had like them at Gear 12. So it wasn't like he was using them as a main team. Instead, what he had, and I'm trying to remember if he had Padme. He might have. I think he did. So I think he had a Galactic Republic team. He had Padme. He had Gas. He had Kenobi. And whoever else, Jimmy. And but he had a Padme team. I think he had a Shuck. He was like a Gear 12 or something. I'm like, okay. And then the other team the other really functional team he had was a Sith Empire team, which I've recently just talked about on my daily account. That's something I'm going to be. That's something I'm working on the 3 of my 3 bigger accounts is a Sith Empire team, getting the Revens, getting Malik, putting together a Sith Empire team. But these were essentially the only 2 functioning teams he had. He has Padme and Gas, so he could put together a 501st team with Gas, and he could put together excuse me, sorry, I didn't know that was coming. A functional Galactic Republic team with Jedi Knight Anakin, General Kenobi, and whoever else, Snips. And then he had a he had a Revan a Jedi Revan that was like Relic 3, and he could put that out there if we needed to. But his other big team, aside from that, was a Sith Empire team. And I'm just like looking at this guy, and that's, he had everything. He had Geos, but they were like Gear 12. He didn't have I think he did have C. So he had all the requirements for C, which means he had, because I'm remembering now, because he had an Empire team with Vader but it was just C. It was a C with Vader and Poppy and everybody that you have. So we had those relics, and so we had a C team. So we had a C team, a Sith Empire team, and he probably had 2 Galactic Republic teams. But he didn't have Bad Batch because I looked at them. But then when he had a fleet, he's like, oh, he probably had a great fleet. He probably had a negotiator. No, he didn't. His big fleet was Endurance. But he had farmed Wrecker all the way to get the Y-Wing. I mean, so much so that he had the full Y-wing, the BTL. He had the ETA-2, Anakin's ETA-2. His Snips, he had Plo Koon. His fighter, he had Fives. He had Rex. He had Sith Trooper. He had, not Sith Trooper, but Clone Sergeant. So he had that whole fleet, and they were beautiful. They were beautiful. But he didn't have, he didn't farm the whole Bad Batch, so he didn't have the Marauder. But he had everybody else for that fleet. And I'm just like, but yeah, sorry I took you on that side note, but that's why I'm like, we need to work on the endurance, because I was like, I looked at that and I'm like, this guy has Maul. And I'm like, what is he doing? And so I went and researched it, and so I just laid it out for you. And yeah, I did forget about C at first, and I'm like, wait a minute, he had C. And so he did have a Galactic Republic, but he had gas, and he had a Sith Empire team, are the big takeaways from that I took away from that. And I was just like, I need to do this. Maybe not the C, but I was sort of stymied that he had sort of skipped over the CLS team. And I was just like, this is amazing. And so it's definitely going to be something that we're going to look at in the future. I don't know when, but yeah, believe it. Believe that it's coming. So anyway, I'm going to do Bronze Image real quick, and then I'm going to do Territory Wars, and then or Territory Battle, then I'll be right back. So see you in a second.